Texas versus Europe. Texas often gets described as enormous, a state so large you could fit multiple European countries inside it. But this idea relies heavily on the distorted perspective created by the Mercator projection. When we compare Texas to Europe using accurate size measurements, the reality looks different. On a standard Mercator map, Texas appears massive compared to France or Spain. But shift to an equal area projection, and Texas measures about 268,524 square miles, only 8% larger than France. The difference isn't nearly as dramatic as most world maps suggest. Picture dragging Texas over Europe like an interactive map overlay. It fits neatly over France with room to spare. The northeast corner reaches Paris while the southern tip grazes Spain's coast. The panhandle extends into Belgium, but doesn't consume it entirely. Spain, though 27% smaller than Texas, fills most of its southern half when adjusted for projection distortion. The Mercator effect becomes clear with city comparisons. Paris to Marseille equals El Paso to Houston in distance. France contains similar climate diversity as Texas, from Mediterranean coasts to alpine regions, despite appearing miniature on distorted maps. Population density reveals more illusions. Texas holds 29.5 million people across its large area, while smaller-looking Spain packs 47 million into less space. Mercator maps make sparse regions appear larger than densely populated ones at similar latitudes. These distortions occur because Mercator stretches areas away from the equator. Texas sits at mid-latitudes where the effect becomes noticeable. Spain suffers particularly. Its southern position gets compressed on the projection. Flight times confirm the truth. Dallas to Paris takes 9.5 hours, similar to Houston to Anchorage. If Texas truly dwarfed France as Mercator suggests, this flight would take much longer. State borders add another layer of distortion. Texas's straight-line boundaries appear rigidly defined, while European countries have irregular shapes. This makes Texas seem more substantial when their total areas differ by small percentages. The oil industry provides concrete examples. The Permian Basin covers 75,000 square miles, equivalent to Tunisia or South Dakota. On Mercator maps, these appear drastically different in scale. Offshore platforms in the Gulf operate across distances similar to North Sea oil fields, yet seem more spread out on standard projections. Climate patterns also reveal the truth. Texas spans multiple zones like France does, from humid subtropical to semi-arid. The actual temperature gradients match European distances rather than continent-sized variations. Transportation infrastructure shows similar scaling. Texas highways cover 80,000 miles, comparable to France's 1.1 million kilometer road network. These serve equivalent needs across similarly sized territories. Historical comparisons help correct misconceptions. The Republic of Texas once claimed 389,000 square miles, still smaller than France and Spain combined. Modern Texas occupies less than half that maximum size. Economic comparisons prove the point. Texas's GDP rivals Canada and Russia, countries that appear giants on Mercator maps but contain mostly uninhabited areas. The distortion makes Texas seem to compete with physically larger territories. Agricultural output provides another reality check. Texas leads the U.S. in cattle with 13 million head, similar to France's 19 million across its slightly smaller area. The comparable densities contradict the visual impression from maps. Technology like the TrueSize.com bypasses Mercator distortion. Dragging Texas over Europe shows it covering France with room to spare. The Panhandle reaches the English Channel, while the Rio Grande Valley barely passes the Pyrenees. This size illusion affects practical decisions. Business leaders might overestimate Texas's logistical challenges relative to European bases. Policymakers could misjudge cross-border issues with Mexico. Even military strategists must compensate when calculating response times. The "everything's bigger in Texas" idea stems partly from map distortions. While indisputably large, its size relative to world regions follows geographic patterns once you remove the projection's artificial enhancement. Understanding these proportions changes global perspectives. Texas remains significant, just not in the grossly inflated way standard maps suggest. Its actual place aligns with major European nations, explaining strong transatlantic ties despite apparent size disparities. The same Mercator effects that stretched Alaska also boost Texas's apparent scale. But Texas's mid-latitude position creates subtler, yet still significant, illusions that reshape our geographic imagination.